I'm Trinity Wood. I'm a senior at Deary High School.
My name is Elvis Rickert. I'm a senior here at Deary High School, and I took data science and statistics this last year. I do math classes, and then the next year, I don't know if it's just me, but I almost always forget what I was taught the year previous, and there's always has to be like a week there where I just learn how to do math again. And I think that'll probably apply with this, but I think this one will stick with me more in the sense that it'll make me think about things differently. Especially, we talked a lot about how media portrays, skin tone representation a lot, which was really big. And now that I have looked at the data more, I'll definitely be paying attention to that. So I don't know if there's something that I can, there's a term or something that I can say that I know now. It's more of just how I think about what goes on in the world and the actual statistics behind everything, the chances of things happening.
What was something a big thing that you took away from the class?
I would just say the whole process of gathering data, modeling, analyzing, and then communicating it. I'd never really done anything like that. We had science fair projects, but I still think that's different than the real world applications for data science.
Don't be afraid to choose something that's hard or something that you don't know to step out of your comfort zone.
I mean, I definitely look at things differently for a lot of stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to see the background. Where did they get this claim from? Instead of just believing all of the claims that people make. And being okay saying, I didn't figure this out, but I figured this part out instead of the whole thing.
I think it'll apply in almost every facet of life. Like you said, being a critical consumer, if I'm going to keep on living, you're going to be buying stuff and you're going to need to think about, prices, supply and demand, anything like that is applicable to everybody.
How would you compare the rigor of pre-calculus to the rigor of data science?
I would say they're really different. Pre-calculus, it's more like the homework, the tests you're studying, and then data science statistics, it's more like projects where they're both time consuming, I think. It's just a little bit different structure.
Was one of them harder than the other, or are they about the same level of difficult?
I would say that pre-calculus was harder to grasp the concepts for. Data science was harder to organize my time.
Is there any particular thought or idea that you would like to share with teachers who are thinking about offering this at their school?
I would just say, don't worry about it being a super structured course. I think that our most valuable lessons were when we were just sitting there talking about okay, what can we learn from this, or what process do we need to do in the future?
It was new to her, it was new to us. We were both kind of going through it together, and as much as it's nice to have something set out, you have a lesson plan for that year and you know what's going to happen. It's nice, but at the same time, even though there's an adult, you still got to learn stuff. It's still good for you to still have challenges in that way. And if you go to a good class, I like to think that we were a decent class at least to do this with. That you can both learn it, and you can both help each other learn stuff and figure out teaching strategies, how to do it this way, and then again with the actual course material. So I would say that it'll be hard. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be really hard, but I think it'll be worth it. And then again, it'll help the kids. It's more available options. It's more stuff that they can learn that'll help them more in real world applications instead of, the magnitude of a point or something like that. Some of it is much more applicable and applies. So I think it'll be worth it in the long run.